Climate change is threatening the very survival of an iconic creature, the Arctic fox. While biologists in Norway say they've found a way that might be able to protect them, a Bay Area scientist explains there is a bigger, wider problem here. In tonight's Project Earth, Elizabeth Cook explains the steps it'll take to outfox a warming planet.
The Arctic fox. Their playful nature and distinctive look make them one of the most captivating creatures in the wild. But Arctic foxes are in trouble. Experts say they need to hunt rodents to survive long winters, and climate change is making their prey rare and harder to find.
If we get warmer and more unstable climate where you get snow melt and you get icing on the ground, that is going to affect how well the rodents can survive.
Thousands of miles away in the Bay Area, Stanford professor of biology Elizabeth Hadley. She cautions the Arctic fox is not the only species under threat.
Absolutely not. The Arctic fox is not the only species threatened by climate change and human activities.
Hadley studies the loss of biodiversity in a human-dominated world. She explains how human activity and climate change are challenging the survival of many species around the world.
Extinction happens in a heartbeat, and evolution takes a very long time. So it's easier to kind of kill something than it is to allow it to persist. So biodiversity is threatened in many ways by humanity, and the Arctic foxes exemplify those threats.
Back in the Arctic, Norwegian scientists have set up more than 30 feeding stations across the wilderness. They believe without this food, the Arctic fox would go extinct.
If we stop the feeding now, we would see a decrease in the population sizes, and that would be really detrimental.
The International Union for the Conservation of Nature reported how over 44,000 species are now threatened with extinction. Dr. Hadley believes we have a moral responsibility to consider what we could do to stem the loss.
It requires major activities on the part of humanity, not just a single person. We can all do our share, but it requires major action for us to consider what we can do to stem global change,
including reducing greenhouse gases and preserving wildlife habitats so we can outfox the threat.